And we are now coming to the end of our program. But last and surely not least, I would like to bring up storyteller Dannie Boyd.
Good evening, people. How are you doing?
Good evening.
Oh, Dannie Boyd. Oh, Dannie Boyd. That was the song that my grade school gym teacher used to sing every time that he saw me. Hearing that short, stocky little white man sing that song made me feel like I was his favorite student. I was athletic, I was a good participator, and I was even one of two black boys in my first grade class, so I felt like he had to know that I existed. Each time I would see him, he would always sing that song in the hallways, and I would get excited and inspired. And then one day, I grew up and I went to middle school and I became a teenager. And the first time I saw him after I grew up and became a teenager in middle school, I started to approach him at one of our school dances as that same little black boy that I thought I still was that had that song in my head. And when I saw him, the look that he gave me was, "You're not that anymore." The way I felt when I saw the look on his face said that you're one of them now. You're one of those troublesome black men. And I knew he recognized me because I could see it in his face. But I could also see that he didn't want to recognize me. And in that moment, the little black boy inside of me died. And at the age of 12 years old, I learned that white men believed they had the privilege to determine who I was going to be. So there I was, August 10, 2014. I was staring at the most beautiful full moon that I had ever seen. It hung low enough from the sky to touch the lake that was directly in front of me, and that lake looked like it was the edge of the world, and I could touch it from the beach that I was standing on. I felt the calmest that I had ever felt in my life because I was over 1,000 miles away from all the chaos that was happening in St. Louis. You see, my perspective of that moon was from Toronto. I found myself there in search of new opportunities because I felt like some of those opportunities weren't available here at home. Being amongst the diverse group of population that was there, seeing all the different ethnicities made me feel at home. I felt free to be me. The day before, August 9th, I got a text message from one of my best friends, and she was saying that there had been a shooting in Ferguson. Now, I was in Toronto, so I didn't want to use up my international data. So I couldn't respond to her. So I decided to get on social media and see what was going on. And when I logged in, literally every one of my timelines was filled with the burning North County. My North County. You see, that Quick Trip that was on fire sat directly in front of the townhome that I grew up in the first 2 years of my life. That same gas station was down the street from where one of my best friends lived, and around the corner and a couple of blocks down, Chambers, from where I've lived since 1992. The moment I saw all of those pictures, the comfort that I had in Toronto began to fall apart. 26 years of living in North County, and at no point have I ever felt helpless to be in my community. So there I was, August 10th, staring at the most beautiful full moon that I had ever seen. And I felt free, thinking about the bondage that had taken the life of Michael Brown Jr. I wasn't a part of that anymore. I was free. And I began to ask myself, why should I go back? You see, for the entire year of 2014, I dreamed of moving to Toronto, and the only thing I had to do to make that dream come true was to miss my flight back home. I had a decision to make. I decided to come home. 6 days after the Quick Trip had burned down, I found myself riding up Chambers right past this church to go to West Florissant to see what actually happened in the Knights of Ferguson for myself. I've always been an adventurous person, out until 3 o'clock in the morning taking pictures in cities. So on August 15th, which was a Friday, I decided that that was the day I was going to see for myself what was going on. So I was riding up Chambers, thinking I was going to make a left turn on West Florissant, and the first thing I saw was all this traffic. Of all my years of living in North County, I had never seen that much traffic going down West Florissant. I ended up having to park my car in the lot where the Walgreens used to be, and I walked a mile all the way from Chambers down to the Quick Trip. And as I began to walk, I started to see people that looked like me, young black people, riding in their cars, and their radios were really loud, like really, 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 really loud. And then I began to notice people were hanging out of windows, and they were riding on the rooftops of cars, and I felt this energy that I never knew could exist in that moment. And I began to get excited. I was running down West Florissant trying to grab every single shot that I get. And every time I passed a car, somebody would yell out, "Hey, yo, cuz, get this picture."
Yeah.
And so I started taking pictures, and I decided that I wanted to use my long lens so I can get isolation of the subjects from the rest of the background, because I wanted to tell a unique story based on those people in that car. So after about 15 minutes of these AO photos, I finally made it to the picture.
Yeah.
And the first thing I noticed was peace. There weren't any riots, there was no fire, there was no tear gas, there wasn't even a clearly contrasted line of people versus the police when I got there. It felt like every single black person in the city of St. Louis was there. The elders, the young people, men, women, parents with their children were there. It seemed like every single black person in St. Louis was there because something about what Darren Wilson represented had a hold on them. Whether it was the unjust traffic tickets and traffic stops, or whether it was the fact that every last one of us had to show up on one corner in North County just to get the rest of the city to hear us. But it was all done with love. The closer I got to the Quick Trip, the more I began to feel this warm embrace of love. That same love led a man to set up a drum set underneath the Quick Trip Pavilion and start playing. It made me feel like I was at the May Day parade, the way you feel the drum lines pulsating through your body. he was playing along with all the people that were chanting, "Hands up, don't shoot." And so originally, I thought I was just going down there to observe, to just hide behind my camera and take pictures. But I felt myself being drawn into that moment. The more we began to chant, notice I said we, not them, it became about us. And I realized I was a part of this movement. Every time I fixed my mouth to yell the words, "hands up," I could feel the existence of my soul pulsating through my body and connecting with theirs.
Yeah.
I was so caught up in the euphoria of us that I never even stopped to think about how misleading the media had been. You see, when I looked on social media, I thought I would see flames and broken glass. But there was none of that. There was people just like me, and they were my community. And in that moment, I was glad I decided to come home and capture those moments for my friends and myself. But somebody wasn't glad I did. 2 years after that night, I decided to submit one of my photos taken during that night to an exhibit called Freedom Imagine, Freedom Live, that was at Dannie Boyd University. The photo that I chose to submit was of an activist who was dressed like a police officer. He had one of those kind of basic, not really undercover, but the casual kind of shirt that police wear that's a t-shirt but it just says police written across the top. But underneath it, he had written the phrase, "killing our kids." And he also had the police officer's hat. And on that hat, he had written the word "murderer." And then he also had a chain handcuffed to his wrist, and he was carrying a law dictionary. The moment I saw him weaving in and out of those cars going down Explorer, I knew I had to take his picture. I began following him from car to car, trying to match pace with him until we made eye contact. And in that moment, I knew that he wanted me to take his picture. So there we were, standing in between all these cars, and I'm lining him up with my camera, and I'm shooting. And my pictures were out of focus. Because it was so dark, my camera was having difficulty getting focus of him. So the first 6 shots that I took were either out of focus or they were blurry. But that 7th shot was perfect. I managed to catch him posed in this broken salute. And it felt like a miracle because I chose not to look at my images for a year because I wanted to make sure I had the clarity to see what was there. So when I was scrolling through my images, I saw blurry, out of focus, blurry. And then this miracle that was shot was the one I decided to submit to this exhibit. And I felt nervous about it because Lindenwood is in St. Charles. And St. Charles is kind of conservative. Or at least that's what I believe.
Understood.
And so I had this dialogue with myself, with my friend Aziza, with my cousin. Can I really submit this photo? And I eventually did. So a month after the exhibit closed, I was having a conversation with the curator, and she told me, someone was offended by your photo, and that someone was a police officer. And in that moment, I kind of laughed, because I thought to myself, in big, bold letters, there's the phrase, freedom live, freedom imagine. You knew what you was getting into when you came to that show. And so, the more I thought about it, the more I thought back to my experience I had with my gym teacher, and how I learned that white men have this belief that they can determine what and who is legitimate. And so going through the process of experiencing Ferguson, I found a new sense of power in my community that I never knew was here. I had to go away and not be present just to be able to find that power. And that power brought me a sense of healing that I never would have imagined could have come to me. And I was able to share it in pictures with friends and with family. And what I realized is having the courage to show a photo to someone that may feel differently than you feel and be okay with it can bring you a sense of joy. And that sense of joy that I found was the feeling of the little black boy inside of me being reborn. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dannie Boyd. So, why did you choose this story for this evening?
So I chose this story, basically just as the story said, I was not here when Ferguson started. I was out of the country. And so the last memory I had pre-Ferguson was being dropped off at the airport by my father. And I remember kind of having that awkward hug with him because he didn't want to be a little sensitive and say, hey, like, I'm gonna miss my son. I'm shipping him off to like a completely different country. We don't know people. And so that was the last memory I had of St. Louis pre-Ferguson. And so the day I got back, which was probably around the 13th or so of August, I remember riding down 170 and the city just felt completely different. And literally from that moment up until this point, I felt this disconnect from my city. And I'm like, I've lived here all my life. Like, how do I not feel connected to my city? And so this story was important to me because it was a point of healing for me, of being able to put it down on paper, to put it in audio form, and be able to release that. And also realizing that in addition to the things that I felt, there are other people that have felt things over these past 5 years. And it doesn't matter, who you believe, whose side you're on, but the fact of the matter is everybody feels something based on what is happening over these, on August 9th. And I wanted to be the catalyst to say, hey, like, we need to check ourselves and we need to let go of some of the things that we face because we can't move forward until we let go of some of the hurt.
Word.